can you take constructive criticism as well as give it?
I would say pretty much, yeah. I've had to. Does it feel good while you're taking it? No, but I can take it and grow from it.
Uh-huh. That's good.
So we passing the buck.
Yeah.
Y'all want me to
I
speak?
mean,
Yeah,
you
go
know,
ahead.
being well. Let me elaborate this way. I haven't always been to where I could take constructive criticism, um, but uh, being a published author, I've had to take a lot of criticism, but I took the criticism, as I said, and I grew from it. Even when people gave it to me in a demeaning way, not even just say from books, any kind of thing that they gave me in a demeaning way, even if I did not like it, I still took it and grew from it. So constructive criticism is good because that's exactly what it does. It constructs you.
That's your PC answer.
I can take constructive criticism.
I'm gonna say in my younger years, I damn sure wasn't taking no kind of constructive criticism at all. I really did think that I knew everything. But as you get older, you get a little wiser and you start learning a little bit more. And I guess you adjust your brain to being able to take in that constructive criticism. So yeah, I can take it now, but before, no.
Mhm. Yeah, I would agree with that. I definitely wasn't really receptive to constructive criticism at all, like in my younger years. And I'm still slowly growing because for me, I have to differentiate judgment versus constructive criticism, people that are being judgmental and passing it off as constructive criticism. Because, there's a way that you are supposed to, deliver constructive criticism. Like you're supposed to offer, when you're bringing it to light what someone is not doing appropriately or lacking or whatever the case may be, you're supposed to offer like a suggestion and as well, and you're supposed to communicate about it. You're not just, well, you didn't do X, Y, and Z. That's not constructive criticism. That's you being an asshole. You know
Right.
what I mean? That's you just being judgmental about how I'm doing something not according to what you like. So therefore, I'm not being receptive to that. I'm going to be on the defensive, and I'm going to say, you know what I mean? Excuse me, but that's exactly how I'm going to be. But true, genuine care, constructive criticism coming from a good place. I've grown to be more open and listen and, shut up and not thinking I know everything and taking heed to it a little bit.
Just to give a definition of what constructive criticism can look like, is constructive criticism actually is providing feedback in a manner that acknowledges both the positive and where there's room for improvement, instead of solely focusing on the negative. So I think that's, we have to be mindful that even if we're talking to someone and we're talking to them about some things that may not sit on us well, or negativity or something negative that they may have done or whatever the case may be, that providing constructive criticism is always showing them, all right, this is what happened, or this is what I don't like. Ways of improvement can be this, right? So we always should go into looking for a solution instead of just a fight.
All right, now let me ask: are y'all good with giving constructive criticism?
I think a lot of people is good with giving criticism. It's the fact of are we strong enough individuals to take it on, right? Everybody has an opinion that they're willing to share at any moment. It's
Right.
the moment that comes back to where are you mature enough to accept that same criticism that you're dealing out and being accepting of it and moving on positively with it.
Right.
That's a question that I think we should be asking ourselves, because people are willing at the drop of a dime to critique us and criticize us or give us their opinion. And I actually I like to use people's opinion as instead of being a negative, actually as constructive criticism, because if they see enough in me to open their mouth and tell me what I'm doing right and or wrong, I'm going to use it as saying, hey, how can I improve on this? If I don't feel that that's the case, they are someone outside of myself who sees something that I could improve on. So I try to use that constructive criticism as a positive instead of as something that's going to harm me.
Right.
But what I was saying by are you good at giving it? You know, some people don't know how to deliver a message to where that person may even be able to take it in. So
Right.
it depends on
You
how
know
you
what?
deliver that.
Just the person that's learning to be transparent is, yeah, there's flaws within myself that you can be offering up constructive criticism, and your critiques can really have meaningful information, but is your delivery
Right.
is your delivery of such where it's going to allow the other person to absorb this with care and not be defensive, as Aisha says. A person's demeanor, a person's tone, a person's, the way a person delivers things can make someone standoffish and not absorb that criticism in a constructive way. And you can be saying all the right words, but is your tone and pitch and align with the message you're delivering? So in a sense, it can I could be delivering a positive message, but it could be coming out so wrong.
Right. Because a lot of times when I'm dealing with my kids, you know, I might deliver it a little harsher than I should.
Right.
But you know, that's a learning process.
Yeah.
I think anything that has passion behind it, I think that's with us as individuals, right? We're so passionate, especially if we care about things, we get passionate about it. And I think people take that passion and think that it's a negative, or we're trying to talk to them negatively, but it's not. It's just I'm so passionate about this that my passion sometimes comes out in my mannerisms or my tone, and that's just the passion within me. So sometimes I have to dumb it down a little bit for myself to help somebody else to understand where I'm coming from. Or once I see it starting to go that route and I see them starting to become standoffish with their responses, kind of giving a little public service announcement. Hey, I'm not trying to create a controversy here. I'm trying for us to get on the same page. I'm just providing this feedback so we can move forward positively, or you can see exactly where I'm coming from and we can take necessary steps to improve.
All right, now, so let's do it like this. I'll make a ranking system. So let's do a ranking from your boss, your spouse, your child, your friend. Who are you more likely to take or give constructive criticism to?
Your child. I did with my child, because as Nell was talking, and T, what you said about you're more firmer with your kids.
Right.
I was very, very hard on my son. I've questioned whether or not I was too hard on him at times.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I with him, I really think at times that I was a little bit too hard, but in my mind, I was preparing him for the world. You know what I'm saying? Because I will always tell him the world is not going to be kind to you. So don't get used to people being kind. Don't show your weakness to the world, So I really think that I may have been a little bit too hard on him. He have said that before. I mean, he told the people in the Coast Guard they couldn't throw anything at him that his mama didn't throw at him. But, so in one way, it may have been too much, but in another way, it did prepare him for what the world is really about.
Okay, KD. So is it easier for you to take criticism from somebody that you're working for than a friend?
I could take it probably depending on what the criticism is. Depending on what it is, because I would not want my friend really giving me criticism for my job or my work if they were not involved in it and didn't know the daily dynamics of it. Whereas my boss does. So yeah, I could appreciate it better coming from the boss. Whereas in my personal life, my boss knows nothing about my personal life. So I could not appreciate any kind of constructive criticism coming from my boss about my personal life. Whereas with my friend knows my personal life. I could accept it that way. So it just depends on what the criticism is.
That's a great thing to say. Actually, let's stick with it for just a quick minute.
Right.
Why is it we allow our bosses to criticize us and we accept it, but we turn we get standoffish with our friends, or we don't allow our friends to be our friends, because that's what our friends supposed to be, right? Our friends give it to us raw, uncut, because we know they got our best interests at heart. We will allow our bosses to say whatever they want to say to us in some instances, but we will check our friends. Why do we do that?
No, that didn't happen here. No. I said when it's concerning work.
No, I didn't say you. I was just saying why
in general.
Collective. Right. As a collective, why can our bosses critique us and give us criticism and we digest it and say, yes, boss, yes, sir. And when our friends do it, or our husbands or our wives, we feel disrespected.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's good question.
That is true.
So how does that line work for you, Ish? Are you quick to receive it from a loved one more, or to give it to a loved one more?
I get it more than I give it, so I'm quicker to receive it than to give it. But as far as the work thing, it's a little difficult for me because I've been with my boss for like 21 years, and so we have he's like a father to me. Love my boss to death. So I think the constructive criticism would be equal for my family, you know what I mean, my friends, as well as him, because I'm just an emotional being, period. So, anybody saying anything to me, I'm probably what? No, I'm just joking, but it's like I feel evenly across the board with everyone.
Let's address Marilyn's question, or her comment, that she can take it from her boss because I'm in the leadership position. So I receive it as my boss showing me how to be better in my position. So if that same criticism that your boss is helping you to be better in your position at work, if your husband or your spouse was giving you that same constructive criticism to be better in your relationship, would you also receive it as the same? Or would you fight back?
So now your spouse is the leader, right? That's what you're saying.
Yeah. So now your spouse is the leader because it's the leader of your home, right? We're in this together, and me being your spouse, we should be on an equal playing field, right? Because your boss, I don't put my boss on the pedestal. My boss is a part of a company that boss can be fired and somebody else can come in. So we're all there to do a job, right? My boss can give me direction and I can accept that. But will we accept the same criticism coming from our spouse the same way we will take it from our boss, being they can propel us to a new position? Because sometimes our spouse can propel us to a whole nother dimension that we never seen before. And that's supposed to be the case, right?
But how is that spouse delivering it? Because a lot of times we get so comfortable with each other that you may not be delivering it in the nicest way. It's easy to let the sarcasm come out. So how?
Sometimes you still gotta take that.
Yeah.
Even though it's coming harshly at you, sometimes you still gotta take that, just because they're saying it harshly, but they mean it in a loving way. What they mean, is caring for you. It's like trying to help you. So if they're trying to help you, you just gotta take that.
Just think back on your interactions with your child, your son.
Yeah.
You weren't doing it maliciously. Your intent was to prepare him,
right,
for the fight that he's going to succumb to in his world, right? Or he's going to face in his world. So why do we look at our spouses as, oh, you got to deliver it this way for me to accept it, instead of saying my spouse is preparing me for whatever fight or whatever issue that our relationship could face, right? Because it's still constructive criticism. The criticism should be coming from a loving place, right?
Mhm.
So if we know it's coming from a loving place, the same person that we lay down with, the same person that we make love to, the same person that we share pleasantries with is delivering some information that can help the both of us. Why are we looking at that as being a negative instead of, damn, this is going to help me?
Right.
Mm-hmm. True.
And why don't we do that?
Ego.
Ego.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like your spouse is less than your
Now,
boss?
ego is usually the man's problem.
Here we go. Here we go.
I'm
Here
sorry,
we
but
go. Here we go. Why,
Ladies and
Katie?
gentlemen, it has been a
I'm
great
sorry,
show.
but I had to
Ladies and
get
gentlemen, it has been a
off.
great
But
show. I
Yeah.
love you all. I will see
Why
you
can't
later.
we
Good
have a
night.
good talk
I
without
can't.
out the window?
Look at Nell. I hate him.
no,
He
it's
clicked
just that you
off. He
said
clicked off.
ego, and with ego, that's usually a male.
KD, women have big egos as well. What are we talking
Yeah.
about?
Okay, well, it's for both ways. It goes both ways. I mean, the men, yes, we have to listen to our men when they give us construction um criticism. Trust me, some of my best criticism that I got was from a male that I'm no longer with.
Right.
And that same criticism, I didn't like it the way it came out, but it damn sure built me to be a stronger person. So,
Katie
you
is
know.
crazy, man. Katie crazy, y'all. Y'all walking around here talking about how y'all got the best box in the world. That's ego. That's all ego.
I've never said that.
Sitting on the golden box, all of that is ego. Let's not skip over that.
Who says that? Who says that?
I know, right? Ladies, do y'all say
Hold
that?
on, E. Hold on, E. Y'all don't run around saying y'all sitting on some good stuff.
I don't.
Well, our
That's for
next
me to
subject is
know.
gonna CT.
What'd you say?
With our next thing is gonna tell us that if we're saying that the box is good, we're gonna see.